Aging gracefully to me means that you guys are seeing us at a regular basis and that every step of the way, we're addressing the new things that pop up, whether it's skincare at a young age, whether it's starting baby Botox, doing skin treatments and peels and lasers. Aging gracefully. You guys, we hear this every day. Aging gracefully does not mean that you do nothing, right? What we want to break down is what does it actually mean? It means preventative stuff, it means skincare, it means non-invasive, but sometimes it actually means surgery, you guys. And we're going to break it down for you today. Aging gracefully. This is lipstick and lipo. I'm Dr. Ashley Amalfi, board certified surgeon here with Smita another board certified plastic surgeon, and we are here to give you unfiltered plastic surgery advice. So, gracefully aging is that even a thing, Smita? Do you hear this like literally every day in your clinic?
I literally hear this all the time, which is so funny to me because you guys are
Mhm.
in my office. So clearly there is something that is lacking, you want to improve upon, you need
Yes.
tips, advice, obviously, because you're in my office, right? You pay the
Yes.
consult, you're in the office. And then it's like anytime we start talking about good skincare, medical grade skincare, which, is not a scam, it's legit. There's science
Yeah.
behind it. Um, or Botox and fillers. And then, it's sort of like the power of social media. We love social media as plastic surgeons because it's really kind of helped some of the stigma associated with plastic surgery. But at the same time, there's a lot of information out there that is natural, but it just doesn't work, guys. And that's why you're here to see us. So you
Yes.
can age gracefully. That doesn't mean to do nothing. It doesn't mean to not wear sunscreen, not use retinol, not get these little procedures done. In my opinion, aging naturally and gracefully is sort of the same thing. But again, doesn't mean do nothing.
Yeah. And we're not here for like dramatic, like life changing transformations. Aging gracefully to me means that you guys are seeing us at a regular basis and that every step of the way, we're addressing the new things that pop up, whether it's skincare at a young age, whether it's starting baby Botox, doing skin treatments and peels and lasers to improve that skin contour and, the discoloration and things that you have. And then when you start getting wrinkles, we're tackling those. And so it means that, like, every step of the way, we're addressing little things so that you don't have those dramatic transformations, but you're just sort of gracefully moving along and not looking 20 years younger, just looking your best at every single age.
Yeah. And I think that's what's key, right? Is you want to look your best at your age, right? There's nothing that we can do, even if we wanted to make you look like you're in your 20s when you're in your 40s and 50s. It's just not possible, right? And when people try to do that, it's when you look unnatural or you're overfilled and
Yeah,
over.
that's when it gets weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all, and it's noticeable. So, what I would love to talk about, Ash, like, what do you think about what should each sort of decade of life be doing? These little things
I
that you
love
can
that.
do early in your 20s. Like, what do you tell your 20-year-olds versus your 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds?
I love it. Okay, let's do it. So, 20-year-olds, you really want to be using medical grade skincare because this is really when you're going to start to see changes in your collagen already. So, medical grade skincare, including a sunscreen, that's like really important. It might be a little early for retinols, especially if you're thinking about having children. That's something that you probably want to start after you've had kids if you're going to have a family. But I would say skincare, sunscreen, and then some people in their 20s are really animated and making a lot of wrinkles with their normal facial expressions. And that's when you might want to start some baby Botox. And that's like once a year, guys, twice a year. It's very little amounts. We're just kind of sprinkling it in so you don't have these deep, aggressive lines in the next decade or two.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think, and then in your 30s, right? I think
Yeah.
that's when you want to maybe start thinking about using a retinol, right? And
Yes.
I think that's
Agreed.
usually the age group where all of those lines that you have been making your entire life are now leaving their residual mark on your skin, right? Or they're taking a little bit longer to go away, or you're starting to see your makeup settle into these little lines.
Yeah.
And it's really when we want to start using a retinol, using antioxidants that will help kind of repair your skin and also rebuild some of that collagen. And also start maybe thinking about some of those resurfacing treatments like
I love
microneedling,
that.
lasers, right? And that just sort of acts as a boost, right? I sort of say it's similar to when you go to the dentist, right? You're not going to just do your skincare with your 6 month teeth cleaning, right? It's sort of the equivalent. You're going to brush your teeth and floss every single day. So you
Yeah.
still want to do your retinol, but your microneedling and your laser treatments are like going to the dentist for that cleaning, that professional cleaning. So it just gives your skin a little extra boost.
Okay.
And
And
fillers, right? Do you want to
yeah,
talk about fillers because they apparently now are controversial? So we love fillers,
there's
but
nothing controversial about it, you guys.
yeah.
It's controversial because they want something to be controversial, but fillers are like a no-brainer. Like
Mhm.
fillers, I think you want to start thinking about in your 30s, honestly, because you're starting to get fine lines. You don't want your face to blow up and you to look different or like a chipmunk. But in your 30s, you're starting to get those little tiny lines here. You start to get a little hollow under your eyes. And a little filler goes a long way. And in younger age groups, it really lasts a long time. And so that's going to keep your face looking young as you approach your 40s, where some people start to look a little haggard in their 40s. If you keep like that little bit of plumpness with filler, then when you enter the 40s, I think filler is more of a stable part of your treatment plan, because then you start to lose, not just have those fine lines and wrinkles, but you start to lose volume. And that's where filler can really keep things looking youthful and full instead of our faces, which gets kind of skinny and scrawny as we age. And that gives us that more older, mature look. So fillers is definite in your 40s. I think a little more aggressive chemical resurfacing and laser resurfacing. And then this is where sometimes surgery starts to happen in your 40s. It depends on what your neck looks like. Sometimes eyelid surgery in your 40s is a common thing. So small areas where you're starting to get a little bit of extra skin is not too soon in some patients.
Yeah, no, I love that. And then, of course, in your 50s, we're talking more about the surgical
Yeah.
procedures because there's only so much that fillers and non surgical can do. And we never want to overdo it, right? There's a limit to what they can do. And at some point, we really do need to start thinking about surgery. And that's typically for most people in their 50s and 60s. So,
Yeah.
this is the thing, guys. Aging gracefully, there are ways to do it so you still look your age. You look good for your age, right? What we don't want to be is 45, but look like we're in our 50s, right? Because of all
Yeah.
this damage and skin damage that we have and the aging that we could have helped along the way by doing these little things.
And you know what? Like all your friends that you're looking at from afar and thinking that this is just naturally happening for them, they're probably doing all of this stuff every step of the way, guys. Because if you do nothing, I think it's going to be really obvious that you're doing nothing. If you're doing little things, you're going to just continue to look your best every step of the way. And that's what it's about. So you want that good relationship with your plastic surgeon in your 20s so that you can kind of address things as they come up and continue to look your best. And that is really how you age gracefully.
Yeah. Well, guys, we would love to hear what you guys have been doing, what you love, what you think has really been a game changer, and how you've aged gracefully. So leave a comment below. We'd love to read them. And don't forget to subscribe and follow us YouTube, Spotify. We are on Instagram.
Apple,
We're all over the place, Apple Podcasts. So
literally
subscribe.
find us.
Yes, you will find us. Thanks, guys. We'll
All
see you
right, you
next week.
guys. See ya.
Bye.